Okay, I got to tell you that I got it that we are being live streamed. I guess it's a good thing to be live streamed. Let me see.
Okay, so Rebbe is good to go.
I'm going to Zoom right now. Yes. Yes, I'm listening because I'm ready to start a Zoom thing. You just called me, right? מדבר ממש, אתה צלצלת עליי. ברוך השם טוב. סליחה? לא. אני עכשיו מתחיל לעשות זום. אני בסדר. Okay, so I think we're ready to go.
Rebbe, we have 7 people. Whenever Rebbe's ready, we can get going.
Okay, so I'm going to start. We're going to do something very different today. And I want to introduce the fellows to what I feel is the safer for this generation. That's a big thing, you know. I really honestly feel, I'm trying to be objective, that the original safer in the past 5-10 years, a lot of Sforim are, get-togethers of other Sforim, putting them together, etc. The original sefer that was a sefer for the last generation I hold was Alei Shur. And I still hold Alei Shur is that for those who are connected and into Hashem and working on themselves, Alei Shur is the sefer. But for a new generation, that so many of us are distant, and so many of us are confused and feel ourselves drifting apart and drifting away from Hashem. For us, for the new generation, the sefer that is a sefer for the generation is Living Emunah. Is Living Emunah by Rabbi David Asher. He should be healthy and be able to write a 7th chelik because I've gone through 6 already. It's the 7 of these Sforim. I don't know if I can maybe hold it upside down. Can you see it? Maybe you can't see it. I don't know. Living Emunah, can you see it, guys?
You could see it. You could turn it around.
Oh.
That's good.
Okay, so I'm going to just tell you today a few things. I'm going to read a few things from Living Emunah. I want you to get a taste of a sefer that is for the generation. And the reason why I say it's for the generation, somebody has their, thank you. The reason I say it's for the generation is because it's just so full of hashgacha pratius, Hashem connecting to us, connecting to Hashem, and giving us the emunah that we need in these dark days. So here's a story. This is from Living Emunah 6, page 238. The Admor from Nidvorna. We connected with him also before, right? The Admor from Nidvorna knew a 30-year-old Evrech who was diagnosed with a very rare disease. He was very sick. The young man made an appointment with a specialist to review his options and determine how to proceed. So the young Evrech goes to the specialist. After the doctor studied all the files and asked him many questions, he said, "Sorry to tell you this, but it looks like there's no way to fight this illness. In my opinion, you have 2 years to live." I could help you ease the pain on the journey ahead, help take away the pain, but nothing can be done to stop its progress. That's a very, very sad prognosis this doctor gave this young Evrech. The doctor was looking down as he spoke because he didn't want to cause the patient more anguish by gazing at him in his pain. After a few moments of silence, the doctor raised his eyes and was surprised to see the patient sitting calmly, as if he had not heard the doctor's words. The doctor repeated his prognosis, and still the patient showed no reaction. I've been in this practice for 20 years, the doctor said, and had to be the bearer of this type of bad news many times. I've never seen a reaction like yours. Could you please tell me what is going through your mind now? Asked the doctor. Does Evrech look like he was, he was with it, he was okay. The Evrech answered, listen to this. I'm thinking about the kindness of Hashem, that he's giving me, according to your words, 2 more years of life. You hear that? He's not focusing on the fact that there is no hope. There's no remedy. There's no cure. He's thinking about the kindness of Hashem that is giving me 2 more years of life. Every moment of life is a gift that Hashem does not owe anyone. I will be able to wake up in the morning more than 700 times, 2 years, and each time it will be the most special gift to me. I'm going to say Moida Ani and thank Hashem for returning my neshama for 2 more years. And who is to say that the same loving Hashem will not decide to give me more than 2 years? He is the only one who has the key to life. That's a beautiful hakora. He is the only one. Hashem is the only one who has the key to life. The doctor said that the young man's response changed his entire outlook of life. You hear it? The doctor, it just changed his whole outlook. He was so astonished. The Admor from Nadvorna concluded his story by saying, it's now been more than 13 years since that meeting, and this Avrech is still waking up every morning and thanking Hashem for the life he gives him. And maybe many more Admei of Esrim. You hear that? He said he had 2 more years to live. Now it's 13 years, and he's still thanking Hashem for every day of life.
Which Nadvorna Rebbe?
If a Jew develops the attitude that everything Hashem gives him is an undeserved gift and thanks him time and time again, this is what the Sefer says, with great appreciation, it brings about blessings, brachas, and salvations. Yeah, that's the first story. Now here's a story.
Mash, excuse me. Does he say which Nadvorna Rebbe this was?
It doesn't say here. I really don't know. It doesn't say here. Here's a story that I can certainly relate to. You probably can relate to also. In the summertime, Rabbi Silverstein, that's not his name, and his family rent a bungalow in the Catskill Mountains. I think some of you fellows don't know about that. For most of the season, he drives back and forth to Brooklyn during the week to tend to his community. He's a rabbi. But from Tisha B'Av until Rosh Chodesh Elul, he remains in the mountains. One summer, he needed to be in Brooklyn to attend several meetings during the time he was supposed to be on vacation. He drove to the city on Monday night to be ready for meetings early Tuesday morning. The next morning after Shacharis, he wanted to eat some breakfast, right? Since his refrigerator was empty, because he was supposed to be 3 weeks in the mountain. I'm sure he left his wife and family there. So his refrigerator was empty. He decided to go to the bagel store, a place he rarely frequents. He never goes to the bagel store. He went now to the bagel store. While waiting online to be served, Rabbi Silverstein noticed a young boy in front of him wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but no yarmulke or tzitzits. Maybe I should introduce myself and invite this boy to attend the class, he wondered. But that thought was quickly followed by another. Who am I to get involved in everybody's lives? Let me just keep to myself. You know, that's when sometimes even with fellows that we're supposed to be in contact with, we feel you know, let him wait till he's ready. But as this internal struggle raged, he suddenly had the feeling he had to grab this opportunity. Something pushed him, he stuck out his hand and said, "Hi, I'm Rabbi Silverstein," he said. "Hello," the boy responded with a shy smile. "I'm Joey." "What grade are you going into, Joey?" the rabbi asked. "I'm starting high school." "Oh, which one?" Joey replied with the name of a local public school, a public high school. Rabbi Silverstein was taken back. "Did you attend a yeshiva elementary school?" he inquired, to which Joey replied, "Yes." "So why aren't you attending their high school?" Joey's gaze dropped for a moment. "I wasn't accepted," he mumbled. "I wasn't accepted." Yeah, very good. Rabbi Silverstein suggested 4 other schools. Joey rejected his application, and some were just not for him. 4 years earlier, this Rabbi Silverstein had opened a new school for boys like Joey. "If I find you the right yeshiva high school, one you would be happy with, would you want to go?" "Yes, definitely. I would much rather go to yeshiva than public school." Rabbi Silverstein called Joey's mother and asked if she could come see his school. They scheduled a meeting that night in Brooklyn for 8:45. He's just here. Like the next morning, he has meetings, and then he's going back to the Catskills. Since he was in town anyway, he organized a class at 8:00, right? He made an appointment with her for 8:45, but at 8:00, for those of his students who were not away in camp. Not everybody goes up this summer. Joe and his mother walked in a few minutes early. They saw Rabbi Silverstein learning with his boys. "Look at those guys," she told her son. "They're dressed like you in shorts and t-shirts. And isn't that your friend Richie in the back?" That's not his real name. "This looks like it might be a good place for you." Joey agreed. Baruch Hashem, he is currently attending Rabbi Silverstein's Yeshiva High School. It's amazing, Rabbi Silverstein told me, that with one hello at a bagel store, I potentially changed this boy's future. But wait a second. See what Living Emunah adds. "I was touched by the story and started to think, how is it that a couple of weeks before school begins, this boy had the schus of a rabbi to strike up a conversation that ultimately saved him from public school? Very likely, someone was praying for him, whether it was he himself, his mother, or even, and I'm adding, most likely, his grandmother, his bubby. Someone at some time must have prayed for spiritual welfare. Look what Hashem did for him. He brought the rabbi from the Catskills to Brooklyn at a time when he usually never in town. So he brought him in town. He directed him to a bagel store, which is a place he almost never patronizes. And he installed in him the urge to approach a stranger and offer help. That's completely Tziyat Shemaya. Hashem arranged everything so that this boy could spare going to public school and turn out a different person. We can daven for others, we can daven for ourselves. Hashem is always right, said b'tshuva. He desires us to do tshuva and a heartfelt prayer to help for the barefoot. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. And see all the Hashgacha Pratius. Rabbi Silverstein somehow had to go to these meetings. He left the Catskills, came in, went to a bagel store because he had nothing to eat. And he felt an urge. Hashem gave him an urge to, go and meet this fellow. And that could have changed. That may have changed this whole boy's life. An unbelievable story. An unbelievable story. Okay. Here comes a very interesting. Oh yes, this is Virtuous Living Muna here. Okay. Why you sell it? They can
No,
purchase it by
but
you.
while we're
Why?
learning, I don't sell it, but while we're learning from it, it's a great opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, listen to the story about a bus trip. Chaim Zaid, maybe people know him or of him, was a sole passenger on a bus when Sharona, that's not her name, boarded. I'll pay in a minute, she told the driver, and made her way down the aisle. Although the entire bus was available for seating, she went straight to Rabbi Zaid. You're not allowed to take up a seat with your suitcase. Must have had an attaché case on the seat next to him. And there was, she said in a nasty tone, he probably put it there because he didn't want any unknowing lady to sit down. I'm just guessing. The rabbi had placed the attaché case on the seat opposite him. And Sharona was asking him to remove it so she could sit there, seat opposite. Instead of arguing, he calmly picked up the offending article and laid it across his lap. The woman let down a stream of invective, began to spew from her mouth. Rabbi Zaid swallowed every offensive comment and overlooked her words and actions to maintain peace. But she added in for him and for what he represented. Geveret, the bus driver called out after a while, interrupting her tirade. You still haven't paid your fare. Sharona inserted her card into the reader. Sorry, Geveret, the driver said. There's no balance. You'll have to get off at the next stop. Rabbi Zaid overcame his natural inclination. He rose from his seat, inserted his own card, and paid for her. She was amazed by his generosity especially after she had heaped insults upon him. Are you a rabbi? She asked. Yes, I am. I hate rabbis, she declared. They're ruining my life. I'm not religious, but my son started learning with a rabbi, and now he keeps asking me to change things at home. He wants me to kasher his ovens, to dip my dishes in a mikveh, and to buy certain foods. About tshuva. This all makes me so angry. Who does he think he is? That's what she told him. Who were your grandparents? Rabbi Zaid asked. Surprised by the question, Sharona told him their names. Were they observant? The rabbi asked. Yes, they were. Took a good guess. Yes, they were. Rabbi Zaid zeroed in. Now she's in trouble. All your son wants to do is to uphold the traditions of your grandparents. Why are you upset if he wants to keep kosher? He's not asking you to do anything wrong. After speaking to her for a while, it was a long bus ride. Rabbi Zaid was able to convince her to accept what her son wanted. By the time she got off the bus, she had agreed to let him come one day and kasher her home. He stopped by a few days later with some helpers and kashered everything. When Sharona offered to pay, he refused the money. Before he left, he told her about his online classes in case you should ever be interested in watching them. About a month later, Sharon's son called Rabbi Zaid to thank him and tell him about the amazing transformation in his mother. This is the son who became a Baal Tshuva. She watches his classes all the time, even quotes him. She talks about Hashem and now wants to be religious. So you see what you can do on a bus ride. She, because he went and did a chesed, and he didn't allow her anger to bother him. He went and did a chesed, and eventually he got her to kasher from home. You see, unbelievable what you can do. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to do one more. We can squeeze in one more. This is from Living Emunah 5. I'd like to, page 220. I'd like to do this one more. See what happens. Oh, this is a very short one, but it's good. A rabbi related that in his younger years, he used to look for chesed opportunities. This rabbi, one of the chasadim he specialized in, he tried to do chesed. There's a rabbi that when he was younger, he enjoyed looking do chesed for other people. So he using his car to drive rabbis home from events or weddings. He made himself available to drive rabbis home from chasnas. They have no ride, so they're calling a cab. He would come and take them. He would stay outside and then take them. On one occasion, he asked Rabbi Shneur Kotler, that's Rosh Yeshiva of Beis Medrash Gavoa, right, in Lakewood. You've heard of that, yeah? Beis Medrash Gavoa. They call it BMG in Lakewood. If he could have the privilege of driving the Rosh Yeshiva home. On that ride, the Rosh Yeshiva and his young rabbinical student spoke in depth about the Gemara he was learning. Something learning a certain sugya, he asked the Rosh Yeshiva certain questions, or they talked about it. The Rosh Yeshiva asked him. The Rosh Yeshiva was very impressed with him and asked what yeshiva he attended. He attended a small yeshiva. A few days later, the young rabbinical students, Rosh Yeshiva, called Rabbi Kotler. So now this fellow, I said small, but maybe it was a big yeshiva, I don't know. But it wasn't BMG. So the Rabbi Kotler, the Rosh Yeshiva, called, the Rosh Yeshiva of this yeshiva that this boy attended, he called Rev Kotler, and he said, if he could suggest somebody from the Beis Medrash Gavoa, someone from Lakewood, right, as a shidduch for his daughter. Rabbi Kotler replied, "Why are you coming to me for a suggestion? You have a wonderful boy in your own yeshiva, right?" Now he had taught him learning with him. He had seen the chesed which he did for, and he was very impressed with him. So he said, "Why are you coming to me? In your own yeshiva, you have a special boy." He mentioned the name of the young man who had driven him home. The other Rosh Yeshiva took Rabbi Kotler's advice, and within months, the young rabbinical student married his Rosh Yeshiva's daughter. He marries Rosh Yeshiva's daughter. The act of community chesed opened the door for immediate bracha. Hashem loves when we do chesed. The pasuk says, "Olam chesed yibana." Hashem built the world on kindness. Whenever we do chesed, we're emulating Hashem. We're getting kapura for our toyim. We're opening the channels of bracha. So not every shidduch has to come from. You get the very good shidduchim from BMG, but not every shidduch has to come from there. And sometimes, right in our backyard, we have a fellow. A young person that we don't even appreciate. Maybe sometimes he's learning, maybe sometimes he's chesed, maybe something special, right? But we always have to look out. And here is an interesting story. A young man found his shidduch, the daughter of his own Rosh Yeshiva. Okay, So those are some stories from Living Emuna, and they say there's 6 volumes now. I think they compiled one on marriage, which is a very, very good one, and very good guide for those who could use it. But I strongly recommend, if you haven't learned Living Emuna, that I really think that for those fellows who are still need a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of advice and a little bit of aids to connect with Hashem and connect with Hashgacha Pratius, that's the safer to do it with. So I may do one more share on Living Emuna, but for now I hope we had a nice group today, and I hope you enjoyed the opportunity to hear some very special stories.
Shkoyach Mash. We all need the chizuk. Doesn't matter. what
Thank you, Rebbe.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Rebbe. Thank you,
Thank you so
Rebbe.
much, Mash. Have a good week.
Okay, have a great week, and have a very special Monday night. Next Monday night is Lag Bomer, so get your Maduras ready, and let's all of us connect with Bar Yochai and with Hashem, and have a very, very special Lag Bomer. Call to good night.
Amen, amen. Are the guys building a huge bonfire out back?
I actually spoke today to a few boys about getting some more wood, but yeah, we're going to build a big fire. We're going to build a big fire.
Maybe there's always the tree on the side of the dorms. You know, there's always the tree there in case you're short.
Or the
Not
wood
one
pile in the
that's
back.
connected.
Guys, I just pulled up to Neve, and I can show you the bonfire.
Yeah, let's see it.
They're building it. They're building it. Very good.
Hello.
That was
If you
Joey.
want-
That was Joey.
If you want to see the bonfire, let's see if I can turn this video around. This is where they're at so far.
Wait, wait, 1 second.
I think they can do a little better.
Well, it's only day one. They just started.
I guess
collecting now.
I guess
And we
times have
told-
changed now with the internet and social media, you know, to get them off their
We-
phones, off their laptops.
We told them that they're not allowed to burn any buildings or neighboring structures, so it's much more difficult.
Oh,
than
where's
it
the
used to be.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna try to get them, but we're not gonna allow any phones at the bonfire, right? If they want to
That's
throw
good.
them in, to use them for wood, that they can do, but not to use. Okay, fellas, have a good one. Be well.
You too, Rebbe. Cool too.
Thanks so
Love
much,
you, Rebbe.
Mash.
So good to see you.
Be well.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye. Remember this one? How are you?
Who is that?
An old student.
Ben,
What?
1 second. Who is this?
Not bad? Oh my goodness.
Huh?
I guess age does get to a person.
I can't hear you. It's a very big connection. Very.
Very bad
Yeah,
connection.
thank you.
Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to fix the connection. All right. Can't fix the connection. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Okay. I used to be in your yeshiva.
Okay. I don't know. I
Used to be from Passaic.
Oh.
Used to be funny.
I'll tell you. I blame it on Corona. It might be other reasons also. But
Oh, the name is Ben.
Huh?
Benji.
Sam?
Ben-
Huh?
Ben Goldman. Ben Goldman.
Oh, Benji.
Yeah,
What are you doing with a white beard, Benji? You never had a white beard.
I got it from you. So you don't
Oh,
have
my
one.
goodness. Mine's still a little bit black.
I know. So I want to make sure you kept it black. So I kept all the red or the white.
Oh, wow. Benji Goldman. I can't believe it. So,
Finally cop this year.
what's doing with you?
Well, Hashem, not bad. I tried calling a few times. You're very hard to get in touch with.
So, you
Very
called
busy.
me?
Yeah.
You called the right.
Told you. On the phone, on the, you know, that the thing, the phone, that old thing, the dials, the numbers on it, like you used to have.
Ben, send me your phone contact details via the chat right now. I'm going to take it down from the Mash and I'm going to give it to him tomorrow morning so that he can reach out and have a conversation with you.
All right, let me see. Do it in the chat.
Call you message from the sheep.
Yeah, on the chat.
All right.
Thanks.
To
How are you?
Neve Zion host.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me send it. All right. Rebbe, how are you doing?
I'm feeling great, Brother Hashem. I'm feeling great. And yeshiva is going well. It's
What?
going well. Yeshiva's going well. You know, it's a different world today.
I can imagine.
It's not the same as it was during your days.
I know. I tried to get in touch with you. My son was bar mitzvah this year.
Mazel tov, right? I never gave you a mazel tov.
No, it's okay.
So I'm
We're
giving it
busy.
now.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Wow.
Amen. All right. So when you get a chance, you can call, give me a call. Talk.
Okay, I'll make the Shem. I'll see if I can
You
talk
get a
tomorrow.
chance.
Okay, then.
Okay, good.
Okay, I sent them. I
Talk
emailed
to
the
Rebbe.
Mash your contact details right now, Benji. So Lamash will reach out to you. Shkaya.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, Rebbe, be well.
Take care.